Welcome back. My next guest is a retired journalist turned author whose first book highlights a racist and dark time in Oregon's history. Steve Law is the author of Peddlers of Hate, How the Ku Klux Klan Seized Power in 1920s Oregon. Hi, Steve. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so the Ku Klux Klan, first rose to power in the South after the Civil War, but your book covers its revival in the earliest 20th century. So what kind of impact did the KKK have in Oregon in the 1920s?
It really was kind of an earthquake here, a frenzy of activity, of mobilization of the people. I mean, people really wanted to join the Klan. It was a fraternal lodge, a white supremacist fraternal lodge that wanted to get involved in politics. And a lot of people jumped into membership, paid $10, which was then a lot of money. And the Klan could fill what we now know as Keller Auditorium, 6,000 people at the time, several times. One time, the people couldn't get in and actually rioted in the streets. They wanted to go hear what the Klan had to say. So it was really hard to fathom now, but it was immensely popular in Oregon. Perhaps only Indiana was more popular. Oregon had the second highest per capita Klan membership for the second Klan.
Wow. And you mentioned politics because, yes, there was a secret deal kind of made with a governor. Can you tell us briefly about that?
A secret deal?
Yeah.
Well, the Klan put a lot of its effort on a ballot measure to ban private schools, working closely with this Masonic lodge called the Scottish Rite, which was considered the elite of the Masonic movement. And it included a lot of bigwigs in business and government nationally. And their ballot measure would have required all private schools to close. And the Klan got behind it partly because they wanted to attack Catholic schools. So they struck a secret deal with the Democratic governor candidate, the one who had just won the primary, back our measure, and in exchange, we'll back you. And as a result, Oregon elected a Democrat, and at the time, Oregon was overwhelmingly Republican. So that was quite earth-shaking. Also unseated a sitting congressman. They took over the state legislature, controlled the legislature, and this deal involved the Klan getting a bunch of plum appointments in the administration when he did become governor, patronage jobs.
Wow. And you mentioned that they targeted Catholics. Explain that. Why did the focus shift, I suppose?
You could say the focus shifted from the post-Civil War Klan, which was really trying to target black rights, former slave rights, put them back in their place. Basically, 50 years later, the new Klan was a private enterprise created by this minister in Atlanta, Simmons, and it was really close to the right wing of Protestantism, which had a long history fighting against Catholics dating back to the 17th century. And so the Klan was really a white supremacist Protestant organization. They considered themselves the militant arm of the Protestant faith.
Okay. You mentioned filling the Keller Auditorium, having a riot outside. Talk more about what their presence was like here in Portland.
If you can imagine, at the time, Portland had about 200,000 people, and Mount Tabor was kind of the eastern fringe, right? They would light burning crosses on top of Mount Tabor that everybody could see on multiple occasions. They had marches, public marches, people in Klan, what we know the Klan regalia, because it became kind of popular because of this movie, Birth of a Nation.
Sure, yep.
And they were everywhere, and they were much more public, even though they were supposed to be secretive. You didn't know who was a member. They were out there in public a lot.
What do you hope people take away from this book?
Well, my main takeaway is that it is sadly easy to motivate people by promoting hate, promoting bigotry. You can promote people that are different. They spoke different languages, they prayed differently, they ate differently, they had all sorts of differences, and those are people that they could vilify and sign and blame problems. The Catholics were blamed, and blacks and Jews were blamed for thwarting prohibition, and the Klan was big on prohibition, which is mostly a Protestant enterprise at that point. Even though the Klan leaders, well, the Klan founder was a drunk. So they were a little hypocritical about some of this, but they were trying to use those issues to get political power.
Wow.
And this is an old pattern in not just American history, but world history, preying upon people who are kind of different from us, and they're the bad guys, and you could use that to get a following.
Yeah. You have an event tonight at PAL's. Give us some details.
I was fortunate to be invited to PAL's main location on 10th and Burnside, and I'll be talking about the book at 7 o'clock. It's free, takes about an hour, so you hear a lot more about the book. Hopefully do a slideshow if we can get it to work, and then have a lot of questions from the audience. So hopefully get a little discussion going, because it does seem to resonate a lot today.
Oh, for sure. And yes, of course, we have a short time, but it's definitely worthy of a longer conversation. So head out to PAL's tonight if you can. Thank you so much for coming on today. Great to meet you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.